Prior to being an Austin police officer, he worked for the Public Safety Emergency Management Department prior to our merger as an airport police officer for a short while. And before that, he worked for a number of years as a member of the San Angelo, Texas Police Department. There's been an interest in getting just a little bit more about him. Former Senior Officer Mike Sheffield is actually the person that recruited him and was listed on his emergency contact. So we've asked Mike through the family to come and just say a couple of words, and if there's any questions about him, Mike's here for that.
Thanks. Thank you, Chief. Known Officer Jaime Padron for a number of years, a very close friend, dedicated father and family man. Again, he worked in San Angelo for 14 years before he came here, and that's where I got to know him very well, and was very happy that he came here to Austin to work for the Austin Police Department, because he's an outstanding officer and a fine human being. And he was, you can honestly say, if you talk to officers in San Angelo, they will say that department is a better department for him having served there. And I look forward to someday being able to look back and say that Austin was a better police department for him having worked here. And because of a senseless, violent act, we won't have that opportunity now. And two beautiful young daughters won't have a father to raise them. And that's a tragedy. And again, he was a Marine. He served our country in Desert Shield and Desert Storm, was away from his family, came back, went to work for the police department in San Angelo, and then came here. And he'll be sorely missed by all that knew him. He was a fine man, great father, and an extremely good friend. Any questions? Sheffield. First name is Mike. I'm a retired detective with the Austin Police Department.
Exactly. I mean to demote you, sorry.
That's okay. I've been called.
Yeah. Last thing I want to say this is that what makes police officers special is that we took time to pause this morning. We're going to be debriefing, providing all the service to our folks. But from the moment the shooting happened to now, the mission goes on. We will continue to serve. We will continue to serve professionally, and we'll continue to do everything we can do within our power to keep Austin one of the safest cities, one of the most livable cities, one of the greatest cities to live in. And I can assure this community of that.
Chief.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us anything about the identity of the two Walmart employees?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Can you tell us anything about the identity of the two Walmart employees?
That was asked. I want to respect their privacy right now. I promise you that when the time is right, we are going to very publicly recognize those employees. But they don't work for me. They work for Walmart, and I don't want to do anything to discourage people because they get an onslaught of media to do the right thing in the future. So that's not going to come from me at this point. Okay? Any other questions on that before we transition to another case?
When you said debrief, what do you mean by debrief?
Critical incident debriefing with professional counselors and clergy and peer support programs. One of the things that we've done in the last 5 years is we've established a very robust, outstanding peer support program that we're very proud of. And they've been active for the last 24 hours with 2 officers, not just this family of Officer Padron, but also the other officer who's gone through his own traumatic incident. Okay?